Start streaming. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, hello. We are streaming now. Hello. We are live. Welcome back to Talk Live, ladies and gentlemen. We are here, making it clear. How are we on for the last minute? Okay, yes, indeed. Thank you very much for joining me here on Talk Live on IG and YouTube. Happy Friday to you all. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Valentine's Day weekend to you all. Tomorrow being Valentine's Day, I hope you will be with the ones you love tomorrow. And if not, I hope that you have Valentine's Day ongoing. So again, thank you very much for joining me here on Talk Live, ladies and gentlemen. But tonight is going to be, a short and sweet show. If we get it all in one piece, but let's get into it right now. Sorry for the delays, but we're going to get into it straight away with regards to the lead attorney. Now, the lead attorney has done wonderful things in YouTube streets. He's a noted litigation attorney, noted family law attorney. Been in the game for about 20 years and is a well-respected one at that. And there we go, that's better. And we are witnessing him being poked fun of by the one and only Corey Holcomb. Now, Corey Holcomb has a lot on his mind, quite simply. He has a lot on his mind. And it is, it's unfortunate that he's in these legal issues with regards to Christina Payne and also to Anton Daniels, and those are forthcoming. But, it is said that Corey Holcomb has a vigorous defense that he wishes to unleash to the world, and so we will give him his just due. But in the meantime, Corey Holcomb has had the unfortunate issue of having to quite simply having to deal with different jibs and jabs that he not only issues on other people, but other people issuing on him with regards to his his beefs with none of the people like Joe Budden, with Christina Payne, aforementioned, with Anton Daniels, aforementioned, and also with the lead attorney. The lead attorney was deemed as a colleague, a acquaintance of Corey Holcomb, someone that he had on his podcast, someone who visited his 5150 set in Los Angeles, and that he had a good rapport with, had a good visit with, and one that he respected. However, once the lead attorney had poked fun at none other than poke fun at Corey Holcomb himself. It seems to be that Corey Holcomb has struck back and more or less, his stand-up ways, his in venomous ways against the lead attorney. We're going to hear about that tonight. But it seems that the lead attorney has receipts for said vitriol, and we're going to witness those tonight on Talk Live, quite simply. And it's made for mirth, it's made for merriment, and it's made for some, a little frivolity on a Friday night. So a little lightheartedness going into a Valentine's Day weekend, the weekend of love. So let's get into this here, and we'll get into our YouTube space right now. There it is, and there we are. And we are dealing with the celebrity junk by the one and only O'Shea Dude Jackson, another enemy of Corey Holcomb that he is lashed out at from time to time. However, the one and only O'Shea Jackson has taken a very civil tone to Corey Holcomb, not really lashing out at him, really, just a few jibes here and there. But again, it seems that he has name for O'Shea Jackson as well. So it's again, I think it's due to the stress that Corey Holcomb has had to deal with over time. That either you're my friend or my enemy at this time. So again, we're gonna witness this right now on Talk Live with the video. Cam Newton just proved this about Corey Holcomb, but in this video will show the a recap of the relationship between Corey Holcomb and the one and only lead attorney, and the receipts will be posted through his own Clips channel. All right, so let's get into it here on Talk Live. Happy Friday, happy Valentine's Day weekend as we move on in with the celebrity junk and the one and only old Shea Duke Jackson. Like and subscribe to him, please. Let's get into it.
Previous quote-unquote beefs with people or disagreements that really never responded to him. And one of the main people that I can think about was the whole Cam Newton situation. Now, again, Corey Holcomb said some pretty questionable things on Cam Newton's podcast. I don't know if you want to disguise that as comedy or not being serious, but whatever the case, I won't go into that. It's not important. But this particular part where Cam Newton asked him to do this particular handshake is important.
One finger, one pinky, one thumb, all together, one love. There you go. Here we go.
I just needed some direction.
Now, Corey Holcomb would come back and look at this particular handshake and think that it was tied to something else. Cam Newton has some history of maybe wearing dresses in college or dressing, particular, and then being a...
And believe me, that has been seen. And actually, Corey Holcomb did show those photos, so yeah. Look it up if you can, but it is on the interwebs and the social medias, so out there at your disposal.
Associated with, some fashion, if you will, questionable fashion sense. I don't think that Cam Newton is gay at all, but
he does have some questionable fashion sense. That is a guarantee. I don't know where he's getting in with some of his styles, but yeah. Lord help me if he takes that. Listen. I think he can see it. They can see it as sprezzatura. This is more of a sprezzatura look. You can look it up if you want what sprezzatura is, but yeah, certain overalls. I judge fashion on if it can be brought worldwide. That is more domesticated look. Again, maybe you can get into Italy with the sprezzatura idea, but yeah, it is his own look, and yeah, it is quite a funky idea. So yeah, I'll leave it to you to decide how. Comment down below if if Cam Newton's a good dresser or not. I tend not to believe so, because some of his stuff looks like it was dressed by his mother. But anyways, nonetheless, I'll leave it to him to discover his own style here. Let's continue.
Whatever, who knows? I'm not sure. He is from Atlanta. But Corey would respond with this.
I don't go around doing dirt to people, but dirt is done to me, and there's a smile at the end of it.
Black uncles are funny as hell. Yo, you can look at Corey Holcomb's eyes right now, man, and he really, in his heart, believes, man, that Cam Newton indoctrinated him into the LGBTQIA society. So because Corey Holcomb felt slighted, he decided, okay, Cam, we can both play ball. So Corey Holcomb went on to talk about how he believes Cam Newton is down low.
This will let him know about what happened with Cam Newton, all right? Now, I want to tie this back to the criticism that the lead attorney gave on Corey Holcomb. The lead attorney...
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, before we get into that, it is known by many Corey Holcomb fan that quite simply the leader, anybody that he sees as being his enemy, he considers them gay. That's usually his go-to. He considers them gay or slow or fat, but definitely, his Backdoria slur has been issued on many Corey Holcomb enemies. So again, it's not out of the question to see that, but again, it's up to, it's personally his prerogative to get down in that way, in that sense. But yeah, it is indeed it's a way that Corey Holcomb lashed back. He considers his enemies pretty much the part of the Alphabet Gang, and including this gentleman here as well, the lead attorney. But shout out to the narration. I think his name is Wiz Flacco. I think it's Flacco or something like that. Who was in the background there? He has a beef with him too. He does. He does have a beef with Flacco as well. Yeah. Let's continue.
Never tried to do anything to Corey Holcomb. In fact, he showed up to the podcast. He flew out to LA, and it was a good podcast. He only called out what Corey Holcomb was doing and assessed it by the law. You know, public personalities versus private citizens. Let's say, for example, as a public figure, you can criticize me, but if my wife or my daughter, if I had one, was available, you cannot criticize them because they're private citizens. That's the only.
So again, ladies and gentlemen, this is what we covered here on Talk Live a few weeks back when it came to Corey Holcomb knowing his legal rights, because he won a 51-50 show saying that he is exonerated from any sort of legal action because he has a right to free speech. However, there are certain individuals, such as private minors, who do not have that, who you are not to protect them from the Second Amendment, and that is the right of free speech in the United States. So he is open to legal action. So don't be surprised if Anton Daniels, on behalf of his daughter, launches legal action against Corey Holcomb. Now, Corey Holcomb was very upset at this, and listen. Hey, I think his name for lead attorney is Lead and the Negro Ass Law. Lead and Negro Ass Law. That's his new his new slight against the one and only lead attorney. But again, lead attorney is bringing receipts, and we will see them in a bit. Hold on tight. Let's get into it soon. But let's continue.
The lead attorney said. But how did Corey Holcomb respond to it?
Y'all was with me the whole time we saw him. Did we do anything to that man?
No.
I thought we showed him love.
Right. Yeah.
Man, this lying like on the internet. This telling people, yeah, so I called Corey's lawyer, and I told Corey's lawyer that Corey said I could talk to you. I'm like, man, what is wrong with this man? Why is this man lying?
Do remember that last assertion that Corey believes that lead attorney never extended, never asked for permission from Corey's lawyer to speak to Corey or speak to Corey's lawyer himself. He believes, quite simply, that it is, he never obtained permission. So what he did in terms of critiquing Corey and his activities against Anton Daniels and against Christina Payne, that was considered, a backstab. Let's continue.
And then it gets worse.
Leading a nigga ass law.
There it is.
And what's the Tampon? Both of them told me they were.
Tampon is Anton Daniels, just to let you know.
Very tight with Kevin Samuels. Now, I think Kevin Samuels was one of the great philosophizers when it comes to talking to women in the history of the game. But I also thought he was moist, and I'm known for saying that. Man, these dudes in this moist army is after me.
Okay, so you see what I'm saying? So he groups all these gentlemen as being moist. Moist being part of the Alphabet Gang, ladies and gentlemen, if you didn't know. So Corey is, if you're against Corey, chances are you're gay. I'll say it again. If you're against Corey, chances are, by the preponderance of evidence, you're gay. Just to let you know, that's what he accuses of. But don't call him gay, because that's how Anton Daniels came on it. Don't call him gay, but you're gay for criticizing me. Okay, we'll leave it at that. Let's continue.
Leading ass law, Okie Dokie Jackson, Tampon. They mad. When I saw leading a nigga ass law trying to act like we did something wrong by making the joke about the picture with Cool Mo D or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Right. I was like, this really doing this shit? And I was like, okay.
Now,
The thing about Corey has a very much a siege mentality. If look up what siege mentality is. Siege mentality means that either you're with me or against me. Either you're my friend. If you're not my friend, you're my enemy. And there's no gray area in between. So again, for the fact that the lead attorney critiqued Corey Holcomb's activities, quite simply, it was an affront to him. It was a slight against him and his humanity, especially when he extended, his hand in friendship. Well, I would say friendship, in acquaintanceship with, in business partnership with the lead attorney by bringing him on his show, by showing him a good time, by being a guest, by being his host while he was in LA to be on the show 5150 show. If you need to see that show, go back onto the 5150 archives and please see it. And like and subscribe to 5150. I think it's a fantastic program. However, with that extension of partnership, with that extension of gratitude, you are here at the end of the day. He sees it as betrayal, literal betrayal for Corey to be so slighted and be so critiqued by the attorney in terms of the law. He's just pointing out the law to Corey. He's just pointing out the law to his viewers and to those on the on YouTube. However, such things cannot be said about Corey Holcomb. And if you do, well, you're Mr. Backdoor. Let's continue.
both situations end up in the same vein. Now Anton allegedly is gay. I'm gay. The lead attorney is in the moist crew. Everybody who disagrees with him is gay. And, everybody's doing backdooria. And I kind of wanted to talk about the situations in which you disagree with Corey. If you harm him, which rightfully you can say that Cam Newton did. You can say that Cam Newton did this questionable hand sign, that other people are unhappy with doing it. Corey Holcomb believes that this hand sign means something else, and it doesn't mean, what Cam Newton means it to be. I can honestly see how he would be upset. If it has some sort of secret society / alphabet gang sort of meaning that sign, that hand sign that Corey Holcomb was shown, then so be it. He shouldn't have given him the idea to have the sign, and actually admonished him for not doing it right the first time, because I did see the show. However, for the other guys, we'll let O'Shea finish it off. It makes completely sense how he could be upset with that. Now, I don't know why he feels he's being indoctrinated into the LGBTQ because of the hand sign, but okay, no problem. Now, when the lead attorney comes out and brings his evidence about what he thinking is dangerous for Corey Holcomb, he also said that Corey Holcomb may be defended in certain aspects. But again, we go back to the same thing of you're moist, I think you gay, and all of you guys who are against me are gay.
Okay, so do remember, if you're an enemy of Corey Holcomb, you're gay. Shout out to Vasco F1 for shouting, and shout out to Vladdy Duver chiming in as well. Shout out to you both. Thanks for joining me here on Talk Live. But getting back to it, if you are seen as an enemy of Corey Holcomb, you're gay. You're automatically gay. You're straight up gay. But don't let yourself be accusing Corey Holcomb of being gay himself, because if you saw the Anton Daniels show, quite simply, it's a means to an altercation, means to a fight, it means to a dust up, quite simply. And Corey Holcomb does not like being accused of being gay, but he'll throw it, indiscriminately that everybody else is, especially those who are his enemies. Let's continue.
So it doesn't really matter if you disagree with Corey Holcomb as strongly as, let's say, for example, somebody like Joe Budden, who has said that he's bisexual, but I think he's trolling. And then you have the Cam Newton situation, in which Cam Newton, for the most part, never responded to Corey Holcomb. And then me giving some criticism against Corey for some of the questionable behavior. And then the lead attorney, everybody is in the Moist crew. Everybody is gay. And with this reasoning, you know, you look back and you really think about Corey. And I'm just going to be honest. It's like, well, how did this guy survive this long? And now it just, I can understand it now. The way that Corey Holcomb has been able to, you know, survive this long and get away with so much stuff is because he can hide all of this underneath the whole idea of comedy. You know, I'm being a comedian. I'm a comedy person, right? That's really what it is. I'm a comedian. It's, you know, it's funny. It's not the reality. It's not real. So guys, don't be mad at me because, again, this is comedy, right? What's happening is that it's no longer comedy, right? And here's the crutch that Corey Holcomb is falling off of. After that video came out, nothing else that Corey Holcomb says can be taken as comedy. He's completely lost that crutch, whether he knows it or not. Everything that people say or he says about himself or to anybody else is because, like, hey, it's the actual truth. This is what he's saying. So you can never say that, oh, you know, this is just, don't take it personal. It's jokes. Nah, you mean what you say, right? Because when you be talking about other people, that ain't comedy. That's real. You ain't laughing when you're doing it. You're not jokes, and it's not jokes anymore. So here is what's going to happen for this guy.
Okay, before we see what happens to this guy, it's quite true that, you know, the video evidence of his as he self-described mush of Christina Payne, it's proven to be a problem. Shout out to Macronova for shouting in for today, but it seemed to be a problem here in the sense that, you know, now it's seen for the world. It's there for the world to see that, you know, he can have violent tendencies. And not only that, but TMZ is on the case, and when TMZ is on your back, it's hard to shake. You know, your reputation has to, you know, go through a whole metamorphosis before you can be vindicated and be brought back to you know, normal standards and back into a life where you will be accepted by the public. So it's become a problem to him that, you know, these certain altercations have happened, and quite simply, the show itself, the 5150 show, has been now more or less a crusade to prove his innocence. And the comedy that was once pervasive there, and him talking about pop culture and what's going on in social media and what's going on in entertainment and in sports, has taken a back seat to all of these different beefs that he has with Corey Holcomb, with O'Shea Duke Jackson, with lead attorney, with Anton Daniels, with Christina Payne. All these people, et al. And you know, it's drawing away his audience, unfortunately. And, you know, now he's gone through this subscription page where, you know, he's trying to earn, well, if you're going to a subscription page, yes, you're trying to earn money, as much money as possible from the public. And he rolled that idea out the night, I think this week. But again, it's a way to preempt any sort of any sort of violation on YouTube, which leads to him being, well, prohibited from viewing YouTube and taken off of their, you know, their subscription / their earnings list. If he needs to know. So again, it's become a problem for Corey Holcomb, and he needs to rectify it, change it, get back to the comedy, get back to him talking about pop culture, because he's very, very funny at doing that. He's a comedian, and he has a very, very large fan base, and he's built this platform over 16 years, and I find it very amusing and very charming and pleasing. Especially look out for Corey Holcomb on Tuesday nights. It's really good. It's really good entertainment, quite simply. But again, it's being drawn and taken away because of all these different feuds, and, you know, it's only landing him in deeper and hotter water simply because he's violating he's leading up to exceptions of the Second Amendment, that is the right to free speech. Let's continue.
Right? If he continues on the pathway that he is, I mean, you see what the situation is with Joe Budden. You seeing what's going on at TMZ. You see what's going on with the women. The only ultimate outcome is somebody like him gonna lose his YouTube channel. That's all it's gonna be. At this rate, because of, the sexual slurs, because of everything else, at a moment's notice, because you're creating too much enemies, you're gonna lose your channel. You're gonna lose your channel because what somebody's gonna say is, oh, it's not comedy, it's hate speech. So then you lose your channel, and then obviously.
And here's the thing, and what leans into that is the new shirts that he has on the 5150 show, where he has the Anton Daniels' wife and child being depicted as monkeys. And there's black on black crime, and then there's that, and I don't think that that D from the show, the female host on the 5150 show, she wasn't very comfortable with that idea, and I think it's showing that Corey is I wouldn't say lost the plot, but he's getting kind of reckless. And it is hope that he can rein in said behavior, because it's only going to lead him into deeper waters and more trouble. And people are only more or less willing to rid him from his lucrative 5150 show, including the likes of Christina Payne. She would like nothing more than that. So he needs. If I were advising him, I'd say stay away from these sort of controversies. Let the law, let your lawyer handle it, and don't bring attention to yourself on your show like that, because people are only looking for you to slip up again and again and again. That's part of the reason why they're there every week instead of the great entertainment that you provide. Let's continue.
You have no leverage in the market like you used to. Like, if you haven't gotten any jobs and gigs right now, lose the podcast, lose the 5150 show, which helps so many creators. You have so many creators who wait around, including myself, right? So we want Corey Holcomb to stay in business. Trust me. We need him to come on here and roast me up so I can go ahead and clip it and come back and talk about it, right? I like Corey Holcomb. I really do, right? But I got to be honest about what I'm seeing and what I'm seeing in his behavior, which doesn't really match up. I'm just going to be real. Corey Holcomb is an ecosystem on YouTube, just like Kevin Samuels was. And he needs to keep that ecosystem going. It's important to keep that system going.
Okay, so like O'Shea Jackson so eloquently put, he's a moneymaker. He's a guy. He's a rainmaker. Corey Holcomb, that is, and whatever he says on the 5150 show is immediately going to get clipped up and shown on YouTube to make other people money. He's a fountain of revenues. He's a revenue stream in and of itself. So you have the likes of O'Shea Jackson. Of course, the more that Corey Holcomb speaks of O'Shea Jackson, automatically clipped up, making. I always see his dollar signs when he sees Corey Holcomb, because Corey Holcomb can literally is a license to print money for O'Shea Jackson. Quite simply, he's a license to print money for Joe Budden. He's a license to print money for the lead attorney. License to print money for Anton Daniels. License to print money for Christina Payne, and TMZ as well, because whatever he says and the sort of platform that he's built, especially within the African American community and in the African diaspora worldwide, he is just a revenue stream in and of itself. And it behooves him not to give people a license to clip him up and to make money off of his name, but also the fact that if he keeps going down this path of insulting one's kids or talking about backdooria stuff or doing all these certain things, and people put these two together, he may be demonetized. He may be taken off of YouTube. And if that's the case, sorry, we're gonna get this a little closer here. And if that's the case, that's an end of his biggest revenue stream, number one, and number two, that's the way he markets himself for his for his comedy gigs with throughout the United States. I don't think he tours internationally. Maybe he does, but I don't think he tours internationally. But definitely to the United States, that's his real moneymaker. That's where the YouTube money's coming in, and the concert money, the comedy show money is coming in as well. And he wants to get into music as well, so he wants to be in this multimedia space. And you can't get into a multimedia space unless you calm yourself down, because people can't see you as bankable. You have to be, how should I say? You have to be Switzerland in certain cases. You can't really, push people in the face or call people backdoory or do this other, or to insult people at every beck and call, because you are not seen as bankable. And that's the reason why he's seen on the outskirts of Hollywood rather than the inside. Let's continue.
Right? He must keep that system going. He make all of us, our jobs, a lot easier. So we need Corey Holcomb to stay on. Yeah, he may say, see, I'm going to stop y'all from losing my likeness. Bruh, that's how you're getting talked about. Okay? It helps you. We're doing a lot of work. You only come on Tuesdays. So the rest of the week, when you're not on, everybody is doing the work for you.
Absolutely right there by O'Shea Duke Jackson. Yes, all these different shows, including myself, including O'Shea Duke Jackson, including the likes of Mediocre Tutorial Reviews, or any of these bloggers, all these people are making money off Corey's name. So it behooves him to allow, I guess in a way, if he doesn't go down the backdoor / Alphabet Gang route, roast these different people, they're promoting him. They're literally promoting him. They're only bringing numbers to him, whether for good or bad. But people wants to see him. It becomes an event on Tuesday nights. He's getting 10,000 to 25,000 people per show to watch him. He is a growing concern, Corey Holcomb. Now, does he want to be taken off of YouTube if he goes too far? No, he doesn't. But he needs to make it to control himself in a certain way. Yes, roast people, absolutely, because they're public figures. You're allowed to do so. But when you're getting their kids involved, you get these backdoor issues all done, and people start seeing that for what it is. Then things flip on its head, and then you may be out of a huge revenue stream, not only on the 5150 show, but through your comedy gigs altogether. And people are starting to cancel him simply because of this altercation with Christina Payne, because they see him as a woman beater. But he's not really a woman beater. He's a woman smusher. Let's continue.
That's helping you sell shirts. It's helping you get gigs if you're not
allegedly. Let's continue.
Pushing women in the face. If you're not crashing out, you will continue to do well. I mean, it's just how it will work, right? And nothing is wrong with that. But ultimately, falling out with people who, let's say somebody like Cam Newton, who might not say anything about you on camera, but the game is dirty behind the scenes. I can tell you that people who don't respond on camera, they respond in other ways. I'm not saying that Cam Newton did this. I could just tell you from people that I know. I know a lot of people on YouTube. You can talk about them and roast them up and everything like that and disparage their name. They won't say nothing about it at all. They're not going to say anything about it at all. What they're going to do? I'm going to tell you exactly what they're going to do. If you want to work with them, all they will say is, oh, what's up? So do you know X, Y, and Z person? Yeah, I know them. Cool. Let me tell you something. If you want to work with me, you must not work with that person. So they just start blocking you behind the scenes. That's all that happens. They just start blocking you behind the scenes. They do everything they can to make your life miserable behind the scenes. They pay people to do stuff behind the scenes. Leak your videos out, leak clips out behind the scenes, have other YouTubers do it behind the scenes. That's how the game kind of works.
That's exactly how the game kind of works, and that's exactly what's been holding Corey back for years, is the fact that when he goes on record to, slander different people within the entertainment industry, he has a right to do that. But the fact of the matter is he's closing off networks that could help his career. And, that's the downside with the 5150 show, is that, some people may see it as a joke, which is absolutely fine, but some people may take, umbrage to it and quite simply see it as as an insult, and they don't want to work with Corey because they're seeing as bad news, and he cannot control his his nature and his mouth when it comes to different affairs that other people would like to keep quiet. So again, it's a whole Tasha K issue. Now Tasha K's off YouTube. There you go. So, or she's still on YouTube. But again, I think there's some sort of penalty that she's paying right now that doesn't give her the sort of standing that she used to, especially after the Cardi B suit. But again, Cardi B had her own L, and you can see what that L is on Talk Live yesterday. We did a show on Cardi B as the biggest L in Super Bowl history, one of the biggest L's in Super Bowl history. Do go see that. Like, subscribe, comment on the road to 1,000 subscribers. So let's finish off here with O.J. Jackson. But again, it behooves Corey to get back to the comedy. Yeah, do the roasting, absolutely. Okay, it may may hurt your career in certain capacities, but I think what makes up for it is the fact that you get, hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of fans. Let's continue.
That's what I understand of the game to work. So even though they're not saying something, they're still being active. Yeah, just you see bro over there, like, yeah, clip that. Make sure you clip it, and then give it to so and so. That's how dirty the game is. The game is dirty on the tube. People do it all the time.
That's what happened with regards to Corey Holcomb and the Christina Payne smush. Hype Plus, Comedy Hype, for what it formerly was an enemy of Corey Holcomb. They dug up evidence against Corey's name, and they plastered it, and they plastered it on YouTube. Christina Payne got wind of it. She got legal representation. They handed it off to TMZ, and here we are. So it doesn't always pay for you to make enemies of so many people, because again, the people you step on today are going to may just be right there on your way down. And here we have it with Corey Holcomb. And that's why I say he's thinking checkers, not chess. He's not thinking 2 or 3 steps ahead in certain things. And that all these enemies he's making are going to conspire against him. Let's continue.
Bro, and it's like, these are things that if you have enemies that you don't like, it's not cool to just get enemies for no reason. You know what I'm saying? Let's say if you disagree with this person or whatever. I ain't rocking with bruh. Cool. That's a lot of YouTubers I don't rock with. I ain't rocking with bruh, but bruh got an audience. He got resources. So let me not just, down bad it all the way up. Let's just, I go on about my business, he going about his business, and that's it. That's literally all you got to do. So they're calling somebody all these names, and if they're not responding, they may or may not care. But if they're not responding, that don't mean that they're not going to be active in helping you on the outside. The same thing with the situation with how the clip got out. I can guarantee you that wasn't none of the people that he was really beefing with. Like, it was somebody that put it out there. And again, when you got too many enemies, you don't know who is doing what.
It was actually Comedy Plus. It was Comedy Hype. They have a running beef with Corey Holcomb. Corey Holcomb don't like Comedy Plus, and Comedy Plus don't like Hype Plus. Sorry, Hype Plus. Comedy Hype, Hype Plus. What was Comedy Hype is now Hype Plus. Hype Plus do not like Corey Holcomb. Corey Holcomb don't like Hype Plus. And once this video got into the hands of Hype Plus, guess what? They plastered it out there. Christina Payne got legal counsel, and it was on TMZ. Make of that as you will. Let's continue.
So they're just making you cover more ground, more territory, and just creating beefs, and let's just call everybody gay. Like, doesn't make a lot of sense. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy O.J. Jackson.
Thank you very much, O.J. Jackson, doing wonderful things in YouTube streets. Please subscribe to his channel, the Celebrity Junk. He is just knocking out of the park these last few weeks. And again, thanks to the one and only Corey Holcomb himself, promoting the Celebrity Junk, promoting O'Shea Duke Jackson, calling him O'Fay Duke Jackson or something. Oh my God! Corey Holcomb's $1 million is $1 million revenue stream to many of these YouTube streamers. So shout out to O'Shea Duke Jackson. Shout out to Celebrity Junk. Like and subscribe because he's doing wonderful things in YouTube streets. And let's get to it now. The lead attorney. He brought receipts. It seems that Corey Holcomb wasn't exactly a fan of the lead attorney after his erudite deciphering of the law and how Corey Holcomb can get himself into trouble by the epithets that he issued against Anton Daniels' daughter and wife, which, listen, the Second Amendment won't protect you, quite simply. But, Corey Holcomb saw it as a slight, and as, well, Corey now defines lead attorney. They call him they call him lead and the Negro ass law. Don't like saying that the N word, but again, that's Corey Holcomb's new name for lead attorney. But again, because it was Corey Holcomb believes that lead attorney never sought permission from his lawyer to speak to not only said lawyer, but also the Corey Holcomb himself with regards to the issues here. And again, it seems that we have receipts from the lead attorney saying that he did. So let's get into this right now with this video named Corey Holcomb Calls Me Out for Lying. Here are the receipts. Yes, indeed. It's the one and only lead attorney doing wonderful things on YouTube Street. Subscribe to the channel and also get hooked up to his, he has an online program that, with regards to being a YouTuber, and he has a class of which he sells to those who want to make it big on YouTube, and he's making it big. He was a 20-year attorney under the state of Georgia, and he's has vast knowledge of litigation and of civics and of family law. So again, shout out to lead attorney, and we're gonna get into his video right here. So let's get into it.
You know what I'm saying? If I said it, it's the truth. I got to make an example out of this.
All right, guys. So Corey Holcomb is about to make an example out of me.
I said something against this guy that came up to our show. His name...
Lead and nigga ass law. Sorry. I had to say it. Okay. He's going to get it.
I'm going to take the chance and say his name. His name was the lead attorney. I said something about him because I saw him say, oh, Corey said it's okay for me to talk to his lawyer. Now, ever since I said what I said about the lead attorney, I haven't seen him say anything back. And it is my opinion, the reason he didn't say anything back, because I didn't lie on him. I did not give him permission to talk to my attorney about nothing. And he said I did. And I believe he saw that and knows that to be true, which is why he isn't going all out his way to act like Corey Holcomb is not the man that he say he is.
All right, so Corey Holcomb is saying that he didn't give me permission to talk to his attorney. I said, guys, on my last stream that I was supposed to have an interview with his attorney. His attorney cleared it, and then his attorney backed out. Now Corey is saying, no, that's all a lie. He's saying that he never gave me permission to talk to that man, and Corey has been extremely disrespectful towards me. And because I have not responded to the disrespect, Corey takes that as an admission that he's right and I'm wrong.
I did not give him permission to talk to my attorney about nothing, and he said I did. And I believe he saw that and knows that to be true, which is why he isn't going all out his way to act like Corey Holcomb is not the man that he say he is. That's what I believe. I believe he has some type of moral strand inside of him that knows I wasn't lying on him. I didn't give nobody permission to do nothing.
All right, Corey, there are two competing ways to look at this situation. The first way to look at it is that you are just a liar. You are lying. You lied about me in the past, and you are continuing to lie about me. Now, this is apart from all the disrespect and all the jokes. I'm talking about straight lying. That's the first way to look at this. Now, the second way to look at it is that you are not lying and that you have chosen a bootleg attorney to represent you. Now, how do I know that these are the only two ways to look at this situation? Well, I'm about to explain it to you right now. But I do want to say one thing first. You were saying that you were so disrespectful to me and I didn't respond. And you're saying, well, since I didn't respond, that shows that I knew that you were the man that you claimed to be. Now, Corey, you are making a mistake on this. I didn't respond, but for a very different reason. I didn't respond to you, Corey. I didn't respond to your disrespect because I didn't want to embarrass you. On one of your last last shows, you brought up this attorney that you had retained, this gentleman named Derek. Now, this is an attorney that you chose, that you selected, that you put your trust in to represent you in whatever claims that you may have. The attorney on your show said that he's been practicing for 14 or 15 years, and that's good. I can tell you that I've been an attorney for close to 25 years, and I am intimately aware of the relationship and the responsibilities that we have as attorneys towards our clients. You keep disrespecting me, and you keep saying that I'm lying about you giving me permission to talk to your attorney. So we're going to see who's lying right now. For background, Corey, if I represent you as an attorney, I have ethical obligations towards you. If someone wants to interview me about you or your case, I can't just say yes willy-nilly without letting you know. In fact, I have to do a lot more than letting you know. I have to ask for your permission. And not only do I have to ask for your permission, but I have to explain to you the pros and the cons, and I have to make sure that you understand them. And then you have to give me informed consent. You have to consent that I give the interview to whoever wants to interview me. That's what we good attorneys do in fulfilling our obligations to our clients. You have to clear that interview, Corey. So you're upset with me because I said on a live stream that you had given me permission to talk to your attorney, that you had cleared that interview. So we're going to see right now whether you cleared it or not. And let me say, I have been on YouTube for about 5 years, and I don't think I have ever done this. I have never gone back and showed receipts. I have never showed DMs because I haven't needed to. I'm not like some of these other YouTubers out here who just talk to talk. I take this very seriously. I take my reputation very seriously. And if you're up on your show calling me a liar, well, we're going to get to the bottom of it. Let me show you something right quick, Corey.
Okay,
is right here, Corey. After your live.
But before we get there, sorry about that. I don't know what the hell happened there. But before we get into that, here's the thing. Corey Holcomb may be an expert or the king of jokes. This man right here, the lead attorney, you might as well call him the king of the law. And the one thing that the lead attorney has on his side that every lawyer would be an expert, well, what their soul would be an expert on is evidence. Corey may have jokes, but a lawyer like the lead attorney has evidence. And the thing that you need to take away from this segment of the program is this. Do not take kindness for weakness. You ever heard of that saying? Do not take kindness for weakness. Just because lead attorney did not respond to the vitriol and the epithets that were launched against him by Corey Holcomb himself does not mean that he is now guilty of tampering with a witness through his lawyer, through his counsel. He's about to break down now how indeed he sought permission. And then it's up to you to decide. Let's call you the jury right now. It's up to you to decide who is a liar. Please, after this or during this, let me know, who do you think is the liar? Is it Corey or is it the lead attorney? Let's get into it.
Stream where you and him talked about the Christina Payne situation, I hit him up. I said, hey, can you come on my channel? Can I interview you? Because I'll be honest with you, Corey, between me and you, I think you're getting a raw deal out of this Christina Payne situation. Should you have mushed her? No. Should she have touched you or whatever she did to you, hit you? No. Everybody should keep their hands to themselves. But people trying to paint you out to be a woman beater for the Christina Payne situation alone, to me, is a stretch. So I hit up your attorney. Your attorney gets gets back to me, what does he say? Let's look down here. He says, "Good day, counselor, and great hearing from you. Let me check with Corey and I will follow up with you." See, this is exactly what I was talking about. Good attorneys have to check with the clients. Your attorney can't just agree to be on my show without talking to you to appear on my show. He has to clear it with you. Also, let me say that your attorney can't clear this interview with Craig. He can't clear it with Darlene. Both of them are integral parts to your show. They're very important people, but your attorney represents you and you alone. So the only person that can give him permission to talk to me is you. So he says right here, he says, "Let me check with Corey and I will follow up with you." But Corey, what do you think he responds? What do you?
So before we get to that next segment of things, that next section of things, yes, this is exactly how things are done in with lawyer to lawyer, counsel to counsel. You have to, if somebody is representing an individual, a private individual, they have to go through that representation, that legal representation, to and obtain that private client's permission before any sort of interview is conducted with his client or with the lawyer of said client. That is common courtesy. That's literally how. That's part of the rules. There are different rules in different states and different jurisdictions, different provinces, but that's called the rules of. That's part of in Ontario. It's called part of the rules of civil procedure. You have to speak to a lawyer who represents a client before and gain their permission to speak on a subject, which usually isn't granted unless if it's of a serious claim, if it's of a serious action, before you enter into any sort of conversation or any sort of interview as stated here by the lead attorney. So the lead attorney is doing the right thing as a 25-year litigation attorney, which is, for all intents and purposes, what he is within the state of Georgia. Let's continue.
What do you think he says to me? Let's scroll down and take a look. He says he's going to check with you, and then a day later, he says, "I am cleared to speak with you." That means he checked with you, checked with Corey, and now he's cleared to speak with me. So now, Corey, who is the liar? It's either you or it's either your attorney. This is why I didn't say anything, because I didn't want to embarrass you. I didn't want to have to go and show DMs. Your attorney right here in black and white is saying that you gave me permission to talk to him. He can be on my show. I can interview him, and you were the only person that can give him that permission. This is what it says in black and white, but what are you going on your show and saying?
I did not.
Oh, no, let's let it roll. No, I ain't going to stop the roll. I'm not going to stop the gravy train. Go.
Give him permission to talk to my attorney about nothing, and he said I did. And I believe he saw that and knows that to be true, which is why he isn't going all out his way to act like Corey Holcomb is not the man that he say he is.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me bring me up to the full camera, please. See, this is what I'm talking about when it comes to Corey Holcomb himself. Corey is his own worst enemy. Corey can be considered a liar in many spaces. He swears on anything that is provided to him that he did not grant permission to the lead attorney to speak to his attorney. It seems that those text messages tell different. See, Corey he's struggling with the truth right now. He's at odds with a lot of people, and it seems that the truth and lies are intertwined with this man. Epithets are an ever-flowing stream to Corey, and he can't seem to see his way through controversy. can't see his way through, different things. I mean, he's making enemies of everyone at this point in time. Now, again, he has a tremendous show, but he didn't have to lie about this. He didn't. Corey Holcomb did not have to lie about this. He could have literally said, you know what, I don't feel comfortable with lead attorney speaking to my lawyer, and that's that. But he gave him permission anyway. So again, who's the liar? Is it Corey, or is it his lawyer? Or is it the lead attorney? You let me know in the comments who's the liar here. But with that receipt, again, Corey is fighting an uphill battle. Again, Christina Payne, smushed in the face. Oh, I'm not a lady abuser. Scenes the camera shows different. Oh, I never gave him permission to speak to my attorney. He's a liar. He is lead in a neo-ass law. Seems that he did give him permission. You don't know where Corey stands. I think he's a brilliant entertainer. I think he's a great comedian, but he keeps shooting himself in the foot, and it's unnecessary. Simply unnecessary. He did it again this week. And he thought, oh, he didn't answer me, so, he knows that I'm right. Again, don't take kindness for weakness, people. Do not take kindness for weakness. Oh, Corey, let's continue.
That's what I believe. I believe he has some type of moral strand inside of him that knows I wasn't lying on him. I didn't give nobody permission to do nothing.
You didn't give nobody permission to do nothing?
Ladies and gentlemen, nobody permission to do nothing is a double negative. So that means he did give him permission to do something. If you paid attention in English class, you know that's a double negative. Give nobody permission to do nothing. Nobody, no permission to do nothing is a double negative. Let the lead explain again, people.
Is that what you just said? Here, the attorney that you chose, the attorney that you brought on your show, the attorney that you were praising, the attorney that you were glazing is saying something completely different. Your attorney is saying that he checked with you, Corey, and that he's clear to speak with me. And let me tell you, Corey, it doesn't stop there. Once he said that you had given him permission to speak with me, then we started organizing a date and time. If we scroll down here, you can see that he says, your attorney, that the earliest time that we can record or prepare to record would be Friday. That Friday, anytime after 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, and anytime this weekend with evenings preferred. Oh yeah, we were getting a date and time, Corey, for an interview that supposedly you never gave permission for. An interview that you were saying that I was lying about, and an interview that caused you to be very disrespectful towards me. And guess what, Corey? It goes even further. Here, he gives me his law firm email address, and he gives me his cell phone number. Now, I, of course, have redacted it all out, but he gives me every way to communicate him to coordinate this interview. After he gives me his law firm address, Corey, I hit him up. I email him. What do I say? Let's check it out. This is the email that I sent to your attorney, Corey, and you will see that the heading for the email in the subject line is interview. I say, Derek, hope you're doing well. Just wanted to follow up. Thank you for being willing to being interviewed. As mentioned in my Instagram message, let me know what time on Friday, either the evening or the night, whatever works best for you. Also, if you can pass me along any publicly available filings, that will be great. For your convenience, I'm sending this from my email, so you'll have my contact information as well. Thanks again, Derek. I appreciate you taking the time, and I look forward to speaking with you tomorrow.
Corey. Why do you keep shooting yourself in the foot? And unnecessarily so. Shout out to Norman Radio. Why do this to yourself? You don't need to do this. All you have to do is say no. If you don't want a man to speak to you, didn't want the lead attorney to speak to your counsel, just say no. That's fine. You're dealing with a lot. There's a lot on your plate right now. Totally fine. Please abstain from allowing your lawyer to speak to the lead attorney. But in turn, you go on you misrepresent yourself on your own show saying, I never gave him permission. What are all these receipts, Corey? Corey, what are all these receipts? You're good and damn well old enough to know to not get yourself into these altercations, especially with lawyers who are taught, who are the best at keeping receipts. That's part of their old DNA. The law is all about receipts. So I don't know why you needed to lie, Corey. This just tears down your credibility again. What? You're like the boy who cried wolf. You're entertaining, yes, but you're like the boy who cried wolf. Everybody's lying on your name when in fact they're not. Oh, I didn't hit that girl. Here's the video evidence saying you did. Oh, I never gave him permission to speak to my lawyer. Here's the evidence that you did. What else are you lying about, Corey? What else are you lying about? Your credibility is being torn down strip by strip, shred by shred. And it's needless. It's utterly needless, Corey. I'm not upset. I'm just disappointed. Let's continue.
See, Corey, you were taking my kindness for weakness. You were taking the fact that I was silent about this as an admission that I was wrong. The reality is you were wrong. I didn't want to have to expose that the attorney that you selected is going behind your back and making all of these interviews without your informed consent. You were very disrespectful towards me, but I brushed it off because I didn't want to take it there. But now you're mentioning it yet again. So I'm showing you the proof. I'm showing you the evidence to let you know that I was not lying. You can come out here and crack jokes and be disrespectful if you want to, but you need to be careful about people's reputations. Apparently, you're on your shows talking about that you're losing gigs, you're losing money because your reputation has been harmed. So it seems kind of ironic to me that you're going around trying to tarnish other people's reputations at the same time. But that's okay. Let's keep going. So in this email again, I thank him for agreeing to the interview that apparently you knew nothing about. And I say, send me some documents if you can, anything that's publicly available. I'm not asking for anything that's attorney-client privileged. And I'm telling him, just tell me the time that works best for him, late evening or night, whatever he wants to do. Corey, I was in your corner on this. That's the messed up thing about it. I wanted your attorney on because I feel like you're getting a raw deal out of this Christina Payne situation. I was on your side, and now you're on your show in front of 15,000 people saying that I'm lying. So we're getting to the bottom of it right now. So after I send him this email saying, hey, just tell me a date and time, he responds. What does he say? Here is his email in response to me. Now again, you see the same subject line, interview. We also see the same date. This is Thursday. The interview is supposed to be the next day. Your attorney said he could be interviewed about this on Friday. I blacked out his email address, but you see my email address, you see his name right here and his little logo. Again, this is the attorney that you hired. Now, he sends me this and he says he's going to be in touch. But again, the interview is set for the very next day. Friday rolls around and I still don't hear from him. So I send him this. This is the email that I sent him. And again, you see his name right here, the same subject line, interview, and it's Friday. It's the day of the interview. I say, Derek, hope you're doing well. Just checking up on when would be a good time for the interview this evening. I need to announce it on my channel soon. Thank you so much. You have a YouTube channel. You know about this. We need to create the thumbnails. We need to schedule the interview. We need to put it on our community posts. The interview is supposed to be in the evening, and you can see right here that it's already 3:42. So I just want to check, hey, at what time is this interview going to occur? The same interview that he said you gave permission for, the same interview that he said you cleared, the same interview that he said he had permission from you to talk to me. I just want to know what time is that interview. Well, he sends me a follow-up message. What does he say? This is his response. And again, you see it's Friday. I sent my email to him around 3 something. He responds at 5 o'clock. Now you see, this is your boy. This is Derek. This is the attorney that you had on your show. You had him up there and you were praising him. What does he say? He says, counsel, we have to pass on the interview because there is a gag order on speaking on the matter with the court. So we have to be a little bit careful. If anything changes, I will contact you. Many thanks. Now, I'll be honest, Corey, this is a pretty bootleg response. He says he has to pass on the interview. Does he say he has to pass because he's decided he doesn't want to do it? Did he say he has to pass because you've changed your mind about it? You have uncleared the interview? No. He doesn't say that you retracted your permission for the interview. He just says, well, there's a gag order on it, so I can't talk about it. Well, what's the problem with this reasoning, Corey? Do you see it? Corey, here is the problem with his excuse that he can't be on my show about the case. The problem is that he was on your show about the case. The gag order was in place then. He can't say that he didn't know about the gag order because, again, he's supposed to know about your case. But not only that, you mentioned the gag order while he was up there. He heard it straight from your mouth. So even though that gag order had been in place for over a year, he's on your show about it. But now he's saying he can't come on my show about it. And again, Corey, what I'm trying to tell you is that I'm on your side about this whole Christina Payne thing. I do think that this whole thing is being mischaracterized. I think you're getting a raw deal. I reviewed her request for a restraining order. I thought it was some BS. I reviewed yours too. I reviewed the court documents on my stream. I just wanted to have your attorney on, to have this brother on to talk about the case really from your perspective. And again, he's saying apparently that there's a gag order in place and he can't talk about the case at all and he can't come on any shows, and look where he's at right now. So Corey, listen, Pimp.
Okay, before we go on, because he went on for a little while there, ladies and gentlemen, I believe what happened here was, this is only speculation, I think after the lead attorney did his little expose with regards to his altercation with Anton Daniels and his mentioning of and his insults of Anton Daniels' wife and daughter. Corey didn't exactly like that, and he told Corey, all bets are off. We're not discussing it here. He did accept permission before, but he said no. I don't want it. I don't want to deal. He did me wrong. I don't want to accept the lead attorney's request for an interview. We're gonna put a stop to that. I think that's what the gag order was. I think the gag order came directly from Corey Holcomb himself. He said, nope, I don't want this interview. I didn't like how he did me wrong in terms of telling me what the law is. But anyways, he said, I don't want any part of that. Cease and desist on the interview request. And so that's where things lie. So there wasn't really a gag order. I think things are just starting up within the case, but it was just that Corey Holcomb didn't like the fact that lead attorney had something to say about his the rhetoric that he had for Anton Daniels' daughter, and here we are. So again, Corey's within his rights to retract that permission. but don't say that. But you can't really say that the permission wasn't granted in the first place, because I think that Corey Holcomb, really, saw saw the lead attorney as a friend, as an acquaintance, as having him on his show, speaking to him about his different views of the law and how things are, how raw and bad deals have been dealt to men over time, especially after the Me Too generation had transpired. But he saw, who was once an enemy is now definitely not so, and what was once a friend is now an enemy. That's what I meant to say. And we are, left here without that interview because Corey didn't want it. Let's continue.
Let me just get something straight. I don't mind if the brother says, hey, I'm going to come on your show, and then cancels. That's fine. It's not like he took any money from me. It's not like he robbed me or anything. If he has a change of heart, that's cool. Now, the reason for the change of heart is a little bit sketchy, I'll be honest, because he's saying that, number one, he cleared it with you, that he got informed consent from you to do the interview. And number two, since he's your attorney, he's supposed to know all about the case. Number three, he was on your show talking about the case, and then all of a sudden, oh my goodness, I forgot that there's a gag order. That seems sketchy to me, I'll be honest, but fine. He doesn't want to come on, that's fine. I did the stream myself. What bothers me though is that you'll get on your show and be very disrespectful towards me when it appears that the man that you selected to represent you has not informed you about what's going on. So me and all of the other people who supported you over this Christina Payne situation, we're gonna see what you say in response to this video. This is the reason that I've been quiet. I didn't want to put this on blast because I supported you about this topic. And anybody who has dealt with attorneys knows that attorneys don't throw other attorneys on the bus. But when you start besmirching my reputation, now I have to drop the receipts. Now, what did you say again? And who were you going to make an example out of?
You know what I'm saying?
So again, just getting back to it before Corey has his say on things again. There is a code of conduct between lawyers that they have to be civil to each other whenever legal proceedings happen. You can't exactly under shouting matches, or you'll be in front of the law society of different jurisdictions, because lawyers are supposed to have are supposed to be civil, are supposed to be friendly, are supposed to be businesslike and conciliatory, and simply put, give each other grace when it comes to legal proceedings, and they have to deal with each other with a sense of tact. That's the word I was trying to find. A sense of tact, a sense of decorum, a sense of decency, utter decency, and that's exactly how Corey's lawyer dealt with him. However, Corey had other ideas. Clearly, he did not want his lawyer speaking to the lead attorney. It seems now that, because it was that part escaped me, is the fact that Corey, this show was done before. The show in which the lead attorney was to break down the sentiments issued by by Corey Holcomb himself when it came to Anton Daniels. He did not want his lawyer participating in it. Quite simply, he didn't want him to have any part of it, and it was more of a preemptive strike from Corey Holcomb himself. He gave permission, then he retracted it. So again, that's what we're dealing with right now. So I think it would have been great to see Corey Holcomb's lawyer be a part of the show, in which, as was featured here in Talk Live, in which the lead attorney, deciphered what the different epithets launched at Corey Holcomb's wife and daughter meant for Corey Holcomb legally. But again, he wasn't given that permission. So here we are. That's the way it is. Let's continue.
If I said it, it's the truth. I got to make an example out of this. I said something against this guy.
If you said it, it's the truth. Well, we can't really go on that statement because there have been 2 strikes against you with regards to the videotape one and this hear receipts provided by the lead attorney too. Sorry, Corey.
That came up to our show. His name, I'm going to take the chance and say his name. His name was the lead attorney. I said something about him because I saw him say, oh, Corey said it's okay for me to talk to his lawyer. Now, ever since I said what I said about the lead attorney, I haven't seen him say anything back.
Correct.
And it is my opinion. The reason he didn't say anything back because I didn't lie on him. I did not give him permission to talk to my attorney about nothing. And he said I did.
I said you did because your attorney told me that he cleared the interview with you. So just like you were super disrespectful to me, now I want to see if you're super disrespectful to the lawyer that you selected, the lawyer that you hired, the lawyer that you retained. I was telling the truth the whole time. Your attorney said that you cleared the interview. So now, Corey, I hope you understand the full context of the situation, and I hope you understand why I was quiet about it. And I want to say this too. An extra reason that I was quiet about this is because I was on your show. You invited me up there. You took care of my transportation. You gave me excellent accommodations. You treated me amazingly. I had a great time up there with you and Craig and Darlene. And then after the show, you guys took me out to eat. I had the perfect time. I'm not out here trying to put you on blast. So when you say, oh, the lead attorney is quiet, yeah, I was quiet. I'm not trying to expose all of this. Now, I'll be honest, I'm a YouTuber and I call things fair. Do I think you should have put Anton's kid up there? No, I do not, Corey. And I'll be honest, Corey, I think the vast majority of the country would agree with me. But I
Absolutely would agree with him. That was the one fatal error that Corey Holcomb made. You don't involve children, private citizens who are not covered by the Second Amendment of the U.S. Constitution. Anton Daniels is compiling evidence against him. Don't be surprised if Anton Daniels launches a lawsuit against Corey Holcomb. It's coming. He's already made different statements about it. Go to Anton Daniels' Millionaire Morning Show to see more. But it's coming. It's just a matter of gathering evidence, getting expert reports. Believe me, the stage is being set.
I'm a YouTuber and I know that everyone makes mistakes. I call things out in an unbiased way and I just talk about the law. You can disagree with me about the law if you want to, that's fine. But I don't ever call anybody out of their name. I never get crazy disrespectful with people and I just call balls and strikes as I see it. I did a live stream about the whole Anton thing. I wasn't with you on that one. However, I did another live stream about the Christina thing and I was on your side the whole way. This is exactly what you should want in people, Corey. You should want people around you who are going to support you, but also say, hey man, you're making a mistake over here. Having yes men around all the time isn't going to do anybody any good. So I hope you understand, Corey, number one, why I said you agreed to the interview. And I hope you understand, number two, why I was quiet about all of your disrespect.
So, listen. That is what you call a clinical performance there by the lead attorney. Yes, I was saying that earlier, and I'm saying it now. Corey Holcomb is making too many enemies. Even the lead attorney was on his side. He's making enemies of him. It's the siege mentality. It's going to get Corey Holcomb in the end because people don't want to work with him. People don't want to. He won't have the fan base, he won't have the supporters that he has because if you speak bad about him, he's his enemy. Everybody's his enemy, including the attorney who has the utmost respect for Corey Holcomb, clearly. And that's why I say, thou dost protest too much, Corey. You gotta take a chill pill and see the forest for the trees and really find out who your true friends are, because having this all-out enemy mentality is not serving you well in the slightest. In the slightest, Corey. And it is hoped that you see sense in due course, because This is just defeating your brand, plain and simple. So, but let's let my man, the lead attorney, finish up.
Still greatly appreciative of how you guys treated me up there on your show, and I'll always be appreciative of that. I know you got a lot of people out here attacking you, a lot of people who are trying to get you canceled, a lot of people out here are praying for your downfall. I am not one of those people, Corey. I just make these little YouTube videos to tell people how I see things, and that's it. So I hope I cleared up everything and that now you have a full understanding of the situation.
Excellent points raised there by lead attorney. Wonderful video here. Corey Holcomb calls me out for lying. Okay, here are the receipts, and he brought receipts. Because that's the one thing that lawyers do, is that if you are a lawyer worth your salt, you bring receipts, ladies and gentlemen. And listen, despite what the feelings that you have for the lead attorney, he's a straight shooter. He calls it like it is. That's what you want. You didn't. If you want, as the lead attorney was saying, if Corey Holcomb wants people just to be yes men and to agree with everything he has to say, that's a wrong way to go. You're going to need people who are going to give you both sides of the argument. That's what good counsel is. They have to. That's the thing. That's the reason for being a devil's advocate, to let you know if something's going to happen for the good, but also what happens in the bad. You can't let people like these just disappear and be eradicated by your sense of comedy. It's just ridiculous. Why you're making enemies when you should be making friends right now? Because you need all the friends you can get, Corey. God love you. And God bless your talent, but it's getting serious out here, man. TMZ's on your case. It's Christina Payne's on your case. She has evidence. You have a friend here, lead attorney. He's on your case. You have Anton Daniels who's going to be on your case. This is not doing you any sort of justice. I ask you, I beg of you, number one, take a step back. Get back to the comedy that you were doing and let your lawyers do their work. That's fine. Put a gag order on this whole thing. But secondly, you need to form relationships and friends, especially now that things aren't as rosy in the garden as they once were. And I'm a fan, Corey, so I expect that vitriol is coming my way if I'm that big a YouTuber, but I'm not. But if I was, I would expect vitriol to come my way, and I'll be considered backdooring myself. Anyways, and Lord knows, what Alphabet Gang does is their business, but it ain't me. But anyways, at the end of the day, Corey, you may be the king of comedy, but the lead attorney is the king of evidence. And he clearly brought the receipts to your doorstep this week, and you know what? Can't wait to see what happens next on the 5150 show next week. But hopefully he gets back to the comedy and he does not make any more enemies. But I guess that's the reason why we watch. Thank you very much for joining me here on Talk Live. A happy Valentine's Day weekend to you and yours. We're going to be back next week. More than likely, if not Wednesday, then Thursday. Thursday, Friday, we are back again, ladies and gentlemen, with more shows here. But I hope you enjoy your weekend. It's a long weekend here in Canada because it is it's Family Day weekend here. So again, to all those who everybody celebrates family, Lord knows. So to all those Canadians out there within the sound of my voice, happy Family Day. And happy Valentine's Day. Hope you and the ones you love help celebrate it right, even though it is a Madison Avenue fabricated semi-holiday, but still, it is very lucrative for those involved. But again, it is quite simply, I like to wish my fiance a happy Valentine's Day, and we'll see what happens tomorrow. Wink, wink. Anyways, I'll leave it there. Thank you very much for everything happening here at Talk Live. I'm loving. We're getting more and more people jumping on board. Please like, subscribe, comment on the road to 1,000 subscribers. We're getting more and more people, submitting their good graces. I read through some of the comments here and some of the things that I need to do within studio, in which I will be trying to get through this very, very soon. But again, we are only growing, we're only climbing, we're building as we're flying, as the one and only Godfather's already said. So thank you very much for joining me here on Talk Live. It's snowing a bit out here. Do stay warm, do stay safe, and happy Valentine's Day. And so we're saying good night from Talk Live on IG. And we're going to say good night from P here at Talk Live, just near the 1:30 mark, as we celebrate Thanksgiving. Valentine's Day weekend this weekend. Always saying it's Valentine's Day. It is Valentine's Day. So love the ones you love and love the one you're with. And I wish you all the best this weekend, and especially even those who are celebrating Family Day here in Canada.